This is Bruce Bishop for ChronicleT.com. I'm here with Tim Alcorn from AM 930 WEOL. Hi, Tim.
It's good to see you again, Bruce.
We're back again.
Hard to believe. 41 weeks since we've done this, since the end of last year's football season. But here we go again, high school football 2016, about to kick it off.
Right, our season number 4. And we're going to start right off with what happened last year. So we came down, we had 6 teams that made it to the playoffs. Midview and Avon, correct?
Made it the furthest.
They made it the furthest. And what are we expecting from those 2 teams this year?
Well, we'll find out, Friday night as far as Midview and Avon are concerned, because they both have some pretty tough customers to open up the year. Midview will be at home. We'll have that game on AM 930 WEOL. They'll be hosting Lorain High, and it should be a very much improved Lorain High football team. That should be a great game. And for Avon, they'll be at home as well. They'll be taking on Strongsville, a pretty tough customer. So we should find out pretty quickly how good Midview and Avon are going to be this year. And certainly it's going to be a very interesting night for a lot of teams as far as opening night is concerned.
Right, and we're going to come probably right back to those 2 teams because one of the things we were talking about earlier was that every season we tend to have a player or a team that we talk a lot about. This year, you think there might be several teams in the mix, huh?
I think there's some great players in Lorain County this year. There's just some outstanding talent out there on the gridiron. I think a young man that certainly is going to garner a lot of attention. He has already. I know he was on the cover of the Chronicle Telegram football section on Thursday. Dustin Crum has already signed a Division I letter of intent to attend Kent State University as a quarterback. This will be his 3rd year as the starter. He is just a great talent. But it's not only Dustin Crum as far as terrific players in Lorain County this year. I mentioned we'll have Lorain and Midview Friday night on WEOL. Nas Bohannon is a sensational talent for the Lorain High Titans. I think he's going to generate a lot of interest this year. You look at Elyria, they've got an outstanding running back, and Chris Atkinson, he's gone over 1,000 yards a couple of times already in his very good career at Elyria High, at Elyria Catholic. A young man by the name of Doug Taylor, I think, is going to generate a lot of headlines. So the list goes on and on. Brandon Coleman, a sophomore running back at Columbia, he's already receiving some letters as far as Division I colleges are concerned. So as fans go out and watch high school football this year, they're going to see some great talent in the Lorain County area, no doubt about it.
So is there a dark horse in there that maybe we're not looking at as far as a team that might kind of sneak in and maybe surprise everybody?
See, we didn't rehearse that question.
No, we
Bruce.
didn't.
No,
and it's always fun to try to throw one curveball at you.
And you know what? That's a very good question. I think in the SWC, everybody's kind of looking at Avon and Midview. I think the North Ridgeville Rangers, that's a program that's headed in the right direction. They were one of the 6 teams last year that made the playoffs. So I don't know if you would call them a dark horse or not, but they're a team that perhaps a lot of folks aren't paying attention to right now. I think that would be a team certainly to keep an eye on. Perhaps in the Patriot Athletic Conference, Firelands, another team, they made the playoffs last year. I think people might expect them to take a step back this year. I know when we had Mike Passarello, their head coach, on WEOL a couple of weeks ago in our preview show, he said, we're at the point now where we don't want to take a step back. We want to keep our program going. We don't want to go through cycles where we're constantly rebuilding. So those are teams that we'll see if they can keep a good thing going as far as coming off playoff years last year.
Okay, and then week number 1. Who have we got coming up this week, and where are you going to be?
Well, I mentioned Lorain and Midview. We'll have that game on WEOL. I think it's going to be a tremendous ball game over at Midview. Of course, they haven't lost a regular season game in a couple of years. They've put together back-to-back 10-0 seasons. Lorain was 5-5 last year, but played a lot of young kids. So I think this is a team that certainly, I don't know if they're a sleeper team, but I think they have high expectations coming into this season. Other games that are on the docket, I know on WEOL.com, our Stream 2 game. This is an interesting one for Lorain County fans because 2 Lorain County teams that haven't played each other, as far as I know, they haven't played each other at all. Elyria Catholic and Brookside. Rob Polinsky will have that game on WEOL.com Stream 2, and also on our phone or on our mobile app that you can listen on your phone. Some other interesting matchups. I mentioned that Strongsville and Avon game. That should be a really good contest. Avon Lake and Elyria. I think that's a game that certainly Pioneer fans are looking forward to. I think Elyria is kind of thinking this could be a very good season. Avon Lake looking to get back on the winning side of things after a tough couple of seasons. So, Edison Firelands, we mentioned playoff teams from last year. They were both playoff teams. So some real good Week 1 matchups. And down in Medina County, just a quick plug for our Medina County matchup on WEOL.com. That's our Stream 3 game. We're going to have Highland and Brunswick. So Brunswick High School should be packed for that Stream 3 game on WEOL.com.
That sounds good. Hey, before we wrap things up, one more question you didn't see coming. Last year, Avon Midview was the game that you were looking forward to that all year. What about this year? Are there any games that you're really looking forward to seeing?
Well, that one's on our schedule. We have that game on WEOL. But I'll tell you what, I know Lorain's looking forward to Midview Friday night. Elyria, as I mentioned, playing Avon Lake. Next Saturday, it's a Saturday afternoon game, Labor Day weekend. It will be Lorain at Elyria. These are two teams that are coming into the season with high expectations, one of the great rivalry games, really not only here in Lorain County, Northeast Ohio, but across the state. It's one of the oldest rivalries in the state of Ohio. Saturday afternoon, it should be kind of a collegiate atmosphere at Ely Stadium, packed house. I've got that one circled. Lorain Elyria at Ely Stadium a week from Saturday. That should be a blast over at Elyria High. But don't tell Dave McFarland and Kevin Fell of Lorain and Elyria, respectively, because their focus right now is on Week 1.
Absolutely. All right, Tim. Well, listen, thank you very much, and back to another season. I can't believe it.
Boy, 9, maybe 10, 11, 12 more weeks of doing this, Bruce. What more could a guy ask for?
We'll find out.
Thanks.
Thanks, Tim.